Hey guys, welcome back to another Flesh and Blood video. This video is proudly brought to you by the House of Cards, the official sponsor of my stream. Be sure to check out the link in the description below for all of your Flesh and Blood needs. Looking at this on paper, I would say that Dromai is a pretty heavy favorite into Azalea versus Dromai. Now with that in mind, Azalea can dominate attacks, and if she's able to get enough tempo early on, she might actually just be able to close out the game. It also feels like Azalea is one of those heroes that really struggles with clearing the board, and an overwhelming amount of dragons can really put you ahead in a hurry. Let's see if I'm able to close this game out. I'm learning Dromai against That is what everybody on YouTube voted for, so that is what we're doing. Let's just block 5. The members of YouTube have spoken, and they picked Dromai this week, so we are on Dromai. Which I'm kind of excited about because I need to learn more about Dromai, like as a hero in general, so kind of like that, honestly. He still feel like Fi is the weakest in the current state. I mean, Fi's very good. I guess I probably should have popped mitts when they passed there. Like, Fi being the weakest in the current metagame state. It's weird because, like, Icelander and Dromai, like, really play against each other. So if I pitch Dust Up to play Lost in Thought, I can then just throw Miraging Metamorph pitching the Dust Up. Or I can play Dust... I think I have to, like, play Lost in Thought and then play the Dust Up. Arsenaling the Miraging Metamorph is probably my play. I kind of like that play. I think this, like, lets us try to disrupt their hand a little bit here. So they have E-Strike, Frailty, and Spire Sniping, so take their resources here, leave them with buffs, which means they just... think we're just taking their resources here. I don't know if that's the correct decision or not, but I kind of like it here. I definitely don't know if that's the correct decision or not, but... we'll go ahead and transform one of these. I feel like this is definitely a matchup where we want to get our value out of our Ashwings here. They probably don't have too many poppers, so we're looking to utilize our Ashwings here and make our game plan just a little bit better. So they're going to go pre-med. Interesting. Figured they would have went Lace, play the Sleep Dart for 14, which is a pretty good turn all the way around. Oh, Fi definitely had his heyday when he came out, for sure. I don't know how I should feel about this Lost in Thought. Card's so mid in all the top decks and all the top matchups. I mean, so this was a 2 of from Pittsburgh this past weekend. Like it was a 2 of from Pittsburgh this past weekend. So what? This is going to be for 11. So 3, 6, 9, 11. Throw the Miraging Metamorph. I mean, I don't hate this line of play. We're making another Ash and getting value out of our equipment here. We're saving a point off the Frailty. We're saving... They already had a Ponder from the Lost in Thought. So I guess we're just really saving 1 point by blocking there efficiently. We're also, like, saving the Ash generation here that we have. So our opponent goes to 29. I don't know. Like, we need to try and put the pressure on pretty early. Like Lost in Thought doesn't seem terrible. Like, it's definitely a below rate card, but I think it's designed to be played on, like, a bigger turn. And I think my hand was just really awkward, and I needed to be able to play it right then and there. So I think that forced me into that situation there. One day Prism will be played. Dude, Z, I honestly, like, Prism starts at 32. You can't convince me that Prism's bad. And I know you're not saying that by any means, but, like, I don't think that Prism's bad at all. I just think that, like, we as a community have not truly figured her out yet. And so I think that's, like, really what we're trying to figure out here. I mean, I could just take 11 and let them take a card. Yeah, like, I think it's fine. I think it's like perfectly fine to just take 11 and join them at 29. We've used our lead, so like let's use our lead to try and like add to the board and like try to get and try to regain our lead here. So loss is solid. Nets and Ash, and you peel their hand. The knowledge is clutch. So stripping a popper and like having the knowledge is like very important in my opinion. Like I do agree that that's like very good. So they can't actually, so I could lead on Snatch and then hope they just don't give me 2 cards, or hope they like, but I don't really think that's the play. I think we're definitely just supposed to throw the Command and Conquer here. Like I get to go up to like 4 Ash. I don't really lose any of my cards. Them taking the Rabble was probably the best card. I think it was Rabble or Command and Conquer were their choices right there, so yeah, so like using Lost in Thought to like tech your biggest turn or like to tech a really solid turn, I think is like a really good play. Personally, like I actually like really like that. But I mean, like it just lets them replace their cards. So like I haven't done the math, but like it feels like a below rate card off the top of my head. But again, that's just a feeling I have. That's not actually based off of numbers or science or anything. So take that for what it's worth. I just got absolutely crushed by an Azalea with this exact loadout as Fi. This exact loadout. You got crushed by an Azalea? Oh, you're saying they're playing this exact loadout? Oh, gotcha. And you're playing Fi. I mean, I feel like if Azalea goes red in the ledger, Jim, like that's just too much to come back for. That's just too much to come back from. What do they get? A Sleep Dart, which is going to be for 8. I guess let's get a Command and Conquer. Let's discard the Dust Up. We have to decide which card we want to keep in our deck. I imagine keeping the Miraging Metamorph is the best card to keep in our deck. So the question here is, do I take 10 to go Azalea? I could go Metamorph, Snap, activate Furnace into Command and Conquer. I think I'm better off just blocking. If I block Azalea, pitch Mitts, and then play Sandcover, I stay Ash the same. Like I don't actually like lose any Ash here, and I do get to opt one. And my turn is still come in. Oh, we'll leave that on top for sure. And then I'm still going to come in with an Ashwing here. So we'll play this. And then we'll take nothing here from the Sleep Dart, which is kind of nice. Now, they do have a Ponder token, so there might have been something worth to throwing the Command and Conquer, but they just have Trench Up, so like we're not really going to be able to like actually get them here. So Prism is starting at 32, means they found something during testing, and the dev that required her to start at Kano numbers. No, 100%. Like, absolutely, dude. Like, that's like always been my opinion. If a hero starts at a lower life total than 40, it's because something is really good about them, and we have not figured out how to break it yet. I am like a tried and true believer that is like fact, not opinion. Like, and I would argue that point with almost anybody. I would argue that point with like almost anybody. Card does nothing into Bravo, Mirror, Ninjas, and Horrible into Azalea or Icelander. I don't see it. I mean, if Bravo has like a 1 or 2 popper hand, like you can just sit on Lost in Thought until like you find a Dromai, and then like if they don't have triple popper, you can take it out of their hand. I mean, and against Ninjas is actually pretty good at like taking a Snatch or like taking a you could take the resources with it. You could take a popper. Like I don't know, Mattis. Like I feel like it has like a pretty decent amount of utility, man. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's like the bee's knees or anything, but like, I mean, I think it has a pretty decent amount of utility here. Yeah, they found out the infinite loop with the arc light. Worried you survived too long to get it. Oh, there's an infinite loop with arc light? Is that a thing? I'm like not even trolling you right now. Is that really a thing? Because that would be pretty cool if that's actually a thing. So what is this for 11? Dominate. Yeah, so we're just gonna have to throw the Command and Conquer here. So I guess it depends on what we have over here a little bit. I guess let's block with a Snatch to get one actually in our graveyard in case they codex us and we need to get one back. I mean, we have to take 9 here, which is unfortunate. And we get a Frailty token. But I do get to throw Command and Conquer and then set up a Fate Foreseen in my arsenal, which gives us a little bit of power into like actually playing a little bit of defense and then trying to flip. So they can trench this away and go to 23. Like they don't have to actually like let this stay here, and get blown up. They don't have to give us 2 cards either, but they might. Depends on what their hand looks like, I guess. We didn't know about Royal Dromai till Worlds. And the dev games, we first saw the crown and a gold to pitch for Ash turn 0. I mean, I think, yeah, like, I think that's what a lot of people do still. Like, I mean, I don't think that, like, pitching for gold on turn 0 is bad at all. Like, the tome has, like, definitely made the headpiece so much better, like, by far. Just for 7, and then we're going to Arsenal here. Okay, so how can we maximize this turn? Let's really think about this. So I think it's play Sink Below, put Sweeping Blow on the bottom. And then the worst part of our turn would be play Dromai, pitch our red to play Billowing Mirage into 3, 6, 7, 8. And we're setting up three dragons on the board, and we still have our Fate Foreseen in Arsenal. But if we draw something better, we can actually play the card that we draw here. I mean, I think this is a pretty good turn. If they have Codex, then keeping the Sink Below definitely rewards me for my decision. Let's put this on the bottom. I mean, I think I'm still incentivized to take 3 and attack for 4 instead of blocking 3 here. So, yeah, there's that one angel that keeps returning Arclight to the top of the deck, so you attack for 4 and loop it, but then again, arcane damage just kills the ward, so it's not even that good. Oh, I didn't even know that was a combo. That's pretty cool. Since they fixed how attacking into auras is popping rune chance at arcane work. Oh, okay. That's neat. I didn't know that that was a thing, to be honest. Hey, what's up, dude? How are you? The Pitch Fab. I enjoyed watching your guys' games the other night. Was fun to get to go watch you guys play. You guys were playing, had a little blitz action going on the other night. I was like, I enjoyed watching it. Appreciate you coming by and hanging out, man. Our opponent's hand is probably pretty good here, if I had to guess. They're just taking all of our damage. I like that we're setting up multiple board permanents here. We still have our Crown of Providence to block with if we need it, so... And we have some good 3 blocks in our hand, so hopefully this doesn't get too bad for us. The loop works for Dromai since the Arcane is an attack trigger specifically. It's not good versus Rune Chance, though. That's cool loop. I wonder if somebody's made like a YouTube short about that loop or something. Like, because I'd be curious to like watch it and like kind of watch somebody walk through it. If I'll look and see, and if somebody has, I might have to learn it and then make one about it, because I think that's a cool thing for people to know how to do. Like, I think that's an important piece for people to know how to do. Rain Razors is tough to beat here. Let's just block 3, and then we'll play the Fate Foreseen here. They want to reload, we'll force them to have it. We'll put that on the bottom. Like, I don't... They learned their lesson with OG Prism and Chain. Some mechanics require sacrifice. Same with Dash.io. The deck is way too insane, and I would be surprised if the new cards from... And I wouldn't be surprised if few cards from new sets break her. I can see that, Mattis. Like the new Dash is very powerful. Like, I think that she is very strong and has a lot of, like, really good, like, synergy in play. Like, I think she's a cool hero. I'm curious to see, like, what people do with her at Worlds, honestly. Thanks for stopping by. You didn't get on Thursday with an incrementally better setup? Oh, cool. New mic and new lights? Dude, that's awesome. So I streamed without light, like without a light for so long. And then like, I just like one of the things that I kept reading is people would be like, get a light, like get a light, like trust me, like get a light. Like, so I've always like thought it was kind of funny to when people talk about like buying lights for their setup, I always laugh to myself because for like so long I streamed without one. And I feel like you can just see me so much better with my light on. This is a tough like thing to think about here because like I can add the Enderite to the board. I can take 5, go to 13, add the Enderite to the board, and then just pass. I could throw Command and Conquer even though they won't have an arsenal. So if I block with Command and Conquer, am I going to Arsenal Command and Conquer or not here? You know what? Let's block with the Enderite. Let's take 5, go to 12. And then I'll actually pitch my Command and Conquer to Furnace here before the turn's over. Because I played my Sink Below. And I can make an Ash. And then what I'll actually do is I'll just Arsenal my Enderite. And if there's ever a turn where I can actually keep a card, then I'll be able to like have multiple options. So we'll just attack with the Dromai here since that's our only option. And if they have a popper, they have a popper, I guess. So we're playing Dromai on Talishar and we're playing against Azalea and we are going second and we won our game against Katsu. Okay. Our opponent's probably just going to go to 17 here. Yeah. I mean, we're keeping this game a lot closer than we did the last one. I also, like, we're on Crown this time around. And last time we were not on Crown, so... I mean, this is a pretty good hand. Like, if I can block with Dromai, I can pitch the Nourishing Emptiness to play Yenderai, attack with the Dromai, and then if they don't pop it, play the Snatch with the extra action point, which is pretty strong. I think I want to bottom the Sigil here. Or do I want to bottom the Sigil? I think I do. I don't know if that's correct or not, but I think I do here. Just read Avalon Archangel. Just read Avalon Archangel of Avalon and Arclight Sentinel. It's pretty easy to figure out. That's fair enough, Mattis. A lot of cards are definitely RTC. Read the card and figure it out. That is for sure. I've learned that a lot with cards over the last few years here. I wanted to play Dash.io, but teammates banned this option for me. They think it's not good enough for Worlds. That's interesting. I was honestly like kind of high on like that being like my pick for Worlds, honestly. So it's interesting that like your teammates were like telling you no. Did they play a knock? Did they just in the dark do that to me? Oh, they must have saw it on top from the Great Bow. I mean, it's a lot of damage, but it's not the end of the world. We're not dead, so we can still continue to play here. Play the Yenderai. We can try to get some pretty good value out of our turn here this turn. Hopefully, anyway. I didn't stream with lights for like literally 5 years. I mean, dude, I get it. Like, it's one of those things. It's just like, I don't know. It's like one of those things you don't think about needing, I feel like. on a lot of like levels. So like I get it. I was the same way. So since it's inconsistent and you have some problem with Bravos and Reinars, you get easily decked out, and figuring it out in 3 days is impossible, really. I do feel like figuring out how to play anti-fatigue with that deck in 3 days would be really, really hard. What if I don't want to see you? Then you came to the wrong place, Nathaniel. Then you came to the wrong place. Oh, man. We'll attack with the Ashwings first, and then if they take this, we'll attack with the Enderai at the end here. We still have 6 Ash going, so we're not in a terrible spot. We've also built up quite a bit of board here, so if our opponent doesn't manage to kill us in the next couple of turns, we will be in a spot where we can like really attempt to like end the game. Now the problem is we're at 4, and we do not have a defense reaction in Arsenal. Thankfully, we drew one, so if they dominate something, we can minimum block 5, which should keep us from dying, I hope, but we'll see what happens. But it's all max rarity. Oh, your dash deck is all max rarity? Well, that's pretty cool, honestly. What did we hit, a Miraging Metamorph? Discard the Billowing Mirage, play Dromai. So if I discard the Billowing Mirage here, I can block Sink Below and Flamescale Furnace on this because there are no buffs here. So I get to block 5, discard this, play the Dromai, and then I actually get to... And then I actually get to pitch this for Miraging Metamorph, which I'm going to be honest, short of them having multiple poppers, should end the game. Like, I may not actually end the game, but like short of them having 2 poppers, I think we're in a very good spot here. Honestly, I might just put the Command & Conquer on the bottom. See what else we can find. Plus, it keeps the CNC in my deck. So, depending on what they go to, this could actually, like, we could just really end the game here. It'd feel good to win this game after losing one last night. Dude, if your Dash.io deck is max rarity, that's just awesome, dude. We will probably be posting a lore video and our first YouTube short this week, testing a couple content streams to see what we like. Dude, that's awesome. I followed your all's YouTube the other night as well, just because I like any content I can get my hands on any platform I like to watch. So I made sure to follow your all's or sub on your all's YouTube as well so I could see it. My wife's Retina Ledgers and Nox should be in the mail this week. Looking forward / not looking forward to her deck after that. Oh man, I think all of us feel for that a little bit. Honestly, man, like I'm excited for your wife because that's awesome. And like, I just remember how excited I was like when I got into card games in general and how much fun it was to like, you know, like really get to that point with card games in general, like where I was able to like, you know, like when I started getting my cards in the mail, how excited I was. So I know what that's like. So block 3, take 4. Like the best case scenario here is that they go to 1 and keep a card in their hand. I mean, they can go to 1 here, but they're just committing to basically being dead to almost anything next turn. Sand cover is so good here. Sand cover is insane. Yay, we win. I mean, we play this. Ash, take a card out of their hand. I guess we take the Sleep Dart here. And then we just come in with the Chrome Eyes. So, Lost in Thought cleared the way for a popper here, but Lost in Thought was kind of just like win more at this point in the game, I feel like. So So during the early game, I wasn't able to add a lot of dragons to the board, and my opponent was able to put a lot of pressure on me, which caused me to start blocking kind of early and try to like reestablish some tempo. My opponent wasn't actually dominating too many things, so I was able to just block with multiple cards from hand almost every turn to try and keep covering up their attacks. As we started to move towards the mid and to the late game, I was able to set up a few dragons that my opponent ignored in hopes of killing me, and I think this ultimately gave me the win that I needed. Dromai being able to keep a couple of dragons on board and maybe an Ether Ashwing is exactly how Dromai will steal games from you that you feel like you might have won. If you guys see anything I missed or think I should have taken a different line, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear about it. If you liked the video, be sure to like and subscribe for more content. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Take it easy, guys.